It was a peaceful Thursday afternoon, and I was fully immersed in my work, tightening bolts with my wrench when I felt my phone buzz in my pocket. Expecting a routine message, I pulled it out and saw it was from Emily, my fiancé. We'd been engaged for 8 months and in a relationship for over 3 years. She was supposed to attend her cousin's high school graduation party that weekend, so I assumed the message would be about travel plans or some family logistics. But what I read was anything but ordinary. Jake, I need to confess something before you hear it from someone else. I kissed my ex, Ryan, at Lisa's party last night. It was a stupid mistake fueled by alcohol and meant nothing. Please, let's just keep this between us. I don't want any drama. I stared at the screen, my grip around the phone tightening. Emily had gone to her cousin Lisa's graduation party with some friends, or so she had said. Apparently, Ryan, her ex from a 2-year relationship before she met me, had been there as well. She had always described him as part of her distant past, barely worth mentioning. Still, he somehow managed to show up at more family gatherings than one would expect from someone supposedly irrelevant. What hurt the most wasn't just the kiss, it was her request to keep it a secret. Like she wanted me to help her cover up her betrayal. I responded with a single word, noted. She replied instantly. Thank you for being so understanding. I knew you'd handle this maturely. It really didn't mean anything. Without hesitation, I took a screenshot of her message and opened the family group chat, the one she had added me to 7 months earlier for wedding coordination. The chat included her parents, Michael and Susan, her older sister, Claire, her brother, Ethan, 3 cousins, including Lisa, the party host, and her 79-year-old grandmother, Evelyn, who texted like someone half her age. I typed out a brief message. Emily wanted to share something from Lisa's party. Then I attached the screenshot and hit send. The fallout was immediate. Susan was first to respond. Emily, what is this? You kissed Ryan at Lisa's party. Michael followed with, Emily Jane Carter. You need to explain this right now. Then Claire added, Are you serious? You're engaged to Jake and you kissed Ryan. Lisa chimed in as well. I saw them talking but had no idea it went that far. Emily, this is terrible. Ethan joined in. Ryan was bragging before he left, saying Emily still had feelings for him. Even Evelyn stepped in, her disappointment palpable. Emily, this behavior is inappropriate for someone preparing to get married. I'm very disappointed in you. The group chat blew up with messages. Apparently, Ryan had been running his mouth all night, claiming Emily had made the first move and was planning to meet up with him again. Emily had left the party early, something that now seemed like an effort to dodge any immediate fallout. Then my phone rang. It was her. Jake, how could you do this? She said, her voice trembling with anger. I only did what you asked. I replied evenly. I shared your message with the family, just like you said. I never asked you to do that. I said to keep it private, she shouted. You said it was nothing, so I figured there was no harm in being open about it. That's not the same thing. It is, I said. You kissed your ex at a family party and wanted me to help hide it. If it really meant nothing, then why keep it secret? It was a mistake, Jake. I was drunk. Being drunk doesn't make you kiss someone, it just makes it easier to act on what you were already thinking about. She hung up. Meanwhile, the group chat was still buzzing. Claire wrote, Emily, where are you? Mom wants to talk to you now. Michael added, This behavior is unacceptable. We need to have a serious conversation, together. Finally, Emily responded in the chat. Everyone, please calm down. This is being blown way out of proportion. Susan was furious. Blown out of proportion? You kissed your ex while engaged. That's serious, Emily. It was just a kiss, Emily insisted. Claire shot back. Just a kiss, with Ryan. while you're wearing Jake's engagement ring. That's not okay. Ethan added. Ryan was telling people you told him you missed him. That's a lie, Emily replied sharply. Then her cousin Nathan dropped a bombshell. Ryan posted something about it on Instagram, said something about old flames. I took a screenshot if anyone wants to see. He then shared it in the group chat. The image showed Ryan at the party, smiling with a drink in hand, captioned, "Some connections never fade. Nice to know the spark's still there." Michael was livid. Emily, care to explain this? Ryan thinks you're back together or working toward it. He's lying, Dad. It was just a meaningless kiss, Emily replied. Susan followed up. If it meant nothing, why didn't you come to us first? Claire answered for her. Because she knew it was wrong. Evelyn weighed in again, unwavering. Keeping something like this secret is deceitful. In my day, women engaged to be married didn't behave like this. Emily tried to defuse things. Grandma, everyone makes mistakes. But Evelyn remained stern. Mistakes like this suggest you're not ready for marriage. The backlash was overwhelming. Her parents, deeply traditional and the ones paying for most of the wedding, felt completely betrayed. Susan summed it up. Emily, your father and I need to reconsider whether you're truly prepared for marriage. Jake, we're sincerely sorry for our daughter's actions. This is an embarrassment to our family. Eventually, I responded in the group chat. Thank you, Mr. Carter. I appreciate everyone being honest. Emily called me again. Her voice was full of panic. Jake, you have to fix this. Please. Just tell them it was a misunderstanding. I kept my tone calm. What misunderstanding, Emily? You kissed Ryan and asked me to keep it a secret. She started crying. You're tearing my family apart. No, I replied. You did that when you kissed your ex at your cousin's party. And now they're talking about calling off the wedding. Honestly, maybe that's for the best. Jake, it was one stupid mistake. It wasn't just one. You kissed your ex, lied by omission, asked me to help you cover it up, and now you're more upset about how it looks than what you actually did. She hung up again without saying a word. The next evening, Friday, I got a call from Michael. Jake, can you come over tonight? Susan and I would like to talk things through. I arrived at their home around 7:30 p.m. Everyone was there, except Emily. I later found out she was staying at her friend Rachel's place. Susan looked exhausted. Jake, we're deeply ashamed of Emily's behavior, she said quietly. Michael was more direct. We raised her to know right from wrong. Kissing another man while wearing an engagement ring is unacceptable. Claire added, she's been acting weird about Ryan for months. She gets nervous any time his name is mentioned. Then Ethan dropped something I didn't see coming. She actually wanted to invite Ryan to your wedding. She told us you were fine with it. I blinked in disbelief. That's absolutely not true. I never agreed to that. Susan shook her head slowly. She never brought it up to us either. Michael's expression darkened. So she planned to invite her ex without your knowledge. That's incredibly disrespectful. We spoke for nearly an hour. The entire family questioned not just her actions, but her readiness for marriage. They'd invested time, money, and energy into planning the wedding, and her betrayal felt like a personal insult. Susan looked at me with sympathy. Jake, whatever you decide about the engagement, we'll support you. You deserve better than this. Michael nodded. If she can't respect the engagement, how would she ever respect a marriage? Evelyn, who had been quiet most of the time, finally murmured, I agree. The next morning, Saturday, I was sipping coffee when someone started pounding on my door. It was Emily. Her eyes were red and puffy. She looked panicked. Jake, please, we need to talk. Go ahead. My parents are canceling the wedding. My dad said he won't pay for it if I'm marrying someone who doesn't know how to keep things private. That's a fascinating take, I said. My mom says I humiliated them in front of everyone. Claire won't even speak to me. She says I'm immature and selfish. She's not wrong, I said flatly. Jake, this is serious. Even my grandmother says I've brought shame on the family. Your grandmother values honesty and integrity. You should have thought about that before kissing Ryan. You didn't have to tell everyone. Her voice broke. No, but I wasn't going to lie for you. I won't cover for cheaters. It wasn't cheating. It was just a kiss. You kissed another man while engaged to me. That's cheating, Emily. Jake, I'll do anything to make this right, she sobbed, tears running down her cheeks. I pulled the ring box from my pocket. There's nothing to fix. You showed me exactly who you are. That's not who I am. It was a one-time mistake. No, it wasn't. You kissed him, tried to cover it up, lied about inviting him to the wedding, and then made me out to be the villain when I refused to stay silent. I'm not marrying someone who treats commitment like a contingency plan. I don't have backup plans. Ryan means nothing to me. Then why did you kiss him? I asked. She hesitated. I was drunk, and honestly, I was second-guessing whether I was ready for marriage. That's the first honest thing you've said, I replied. Now give me the ring. Jake, no, she whispered through her tears, but she slipped it off and placed it in my hand. You're making a huge mistake, she whispered. The only mistake I made, I said, was not seeing this side of you sooner. 3 weeks passed, and the aftermath settled in. The wedding was officially called off. Some deposits were lost, but most vendors refunded out of sympathy. Emily temporarily moved back in with her parents while looking for a new apartment, but things were tense, everyone around her walking on eggshells. Ryan tried reaching out to her after the whole situation made its way to social media, but she reportedly cut him off. His interest quickly faded once he realized she was now single. The family group chat went silent. I stayed in it for a while, but eventually, Susan messaged me privately. Jake, maybe it's time you left the chat, since you're not technically part of the family anymore. I agreed, thanked them for everything, and exited quietly. Last week, Michael gave me a call. Jake, I just want to apologize again for what happened. You handled everything with a lot of grace. Thanks, Michael. That means a lot. He continued. Emily's been asking if you'd ever consider getting back together. What did you tell her? I asked. That the door closed the moment she kissed Ryan and asked you to keep it a secret. Good advice, I said. For what it's worth, he added, we think you dodged a bullet. Emily has always been impulsive, but this situation exposed something we hadn't seen before. The engagement ring, worth 13 grand, now sits untouched in its box in my drawer. It's a painful but powerful reminder of what I almost walked into, a future full of doubt, wondering who she was with whenever she left the house. If there's one silver lining, it's how quickly the truth came out. Under pressure, Emily didn't own her mistake. She tried to control the story, shift the blame, and drag me into her lie. When I refused, she pointed fingers at me instead of accepting responsibility. She learned that family group chats aren't a safe place for secrets. Her family realized she wasn't ready for a lifetime commitment. And I learned that the clearest way to cut through a lie is by telling the truth, loudly and without apology. Emily thought she could manage the damage by keeping her betrayal in the shadows. Instead, it was brought to light, in front of everyone who truly mattered. Some people believe that engagement comes with an unspoken promise to cover for each other's mistakes. But those are the people who learn, often too late, that trust isn't something you can negotiate. It's either there, or it isn't.